back, ladies and gentlemen, to the Lucca Comic-Con. Well, Lucca Comic and Games Convention, I think is the full official name. We're looking on the stage right now at our beautiful host, Massimo. And we are actually commenting in the back with the English stream. Of course, this is a primarily Italian production, but we are bringing you here the English coverage. Let's just jump to us here at the moment. I am Josh, one amongst many Pemberton. That is Max, totally futile Burzen. And yeah, we're happy to bring you here to this interesting little event. It's an interesting little tournament. If you are just joining us, we're about to go into the semi-finals, actually. Let's just go back to the stage. We can actually see one of the semi-finalists trying to get to the stage here. It's just navigating their way towards it. That is, of course, Cypher there, who's not wearing the purple jersey as they try and approach the stage. Cypher, one of the carry players for Anox Gaming, an absolutely fantastic Genji player. Going to be very interested to see what he pulls out here. He's going to be going up against the, I think it's the white team with Hal, Italian player. So a lot of pride on the line here for the Italians.
Yeah, a lot of pride on the line for the Italians. They're going to be looking to go through. They're on the home turf. They're going to have to suffer the embarrassment if they don't manage to advance to the final, but it's going to be tough. Cypher's been in esports for a long time, although he looks like a young man. He's been a Quake pro for about 10 years before this, and now heading into his Overwatch pro career. And as Josh has already said, he is a fantastic Genji player, one of the best in the world.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see if he does opt to run the Genji. He said earlier to us when we were talking to him before this, we were talking to him last night, that he might bring out the D.Va because he likes playing D.Va as well. But because this is a semi-final, like 2 of the quarterfinals were played off stage, we didn't get to see, that first quarterfinal. I imagine now that it's the semis, like, there's a little bit more on the line. And I imagine that competitive spirit is just starting to take over that little bit more.
Oh, we're into serious town now. We're going to have to see what happens. And I reckon both pros are going to be bringing their A game and talking to their teams to do what they can. Hal has been playing the Zarya so far. We've not seen Cypher's game as they were played backstage, and we didn't quite get to see what he did. So we'll have to see what he brings out here. Do you expect Hal to stick with the Zarya, stick with what's working, or do you think he might change it up a bit?
I imagine, he's just going to stick with what works here, although he's not going up against Midna this time. Like, he's not going up against an enemy tank, he's going up against an enemy carry, and trying to deal with a carry player who is just at that high level is going to be really difficult from that Zarya position. Now, Zarya is quite good at shutting down the games. We saw Numlock doing that excellently, but when it's to Cypher's standard, it's going to be difficult. It's going to be tough. So Hal, getting ready to go. He's got a shirt with his name on it. I'm actually a little bit jealous.
As you can see, very modest there from Hal, wearing a shirt with his own name on it. Well, I suppose esports stars and sports
is
stars.
wearing a shirt with his own name on it as well, but that, of course, is Fanatics Vonethil. Hal just has a shirt with his name on. Like, that's really impressive. I'm quite astounded that he's got that. I need to get one as well.
Well, you see, when your name is a character from one of the biggest movies of all time, I'm sure it's very easy to get a name on a shirt, or a shirt with your name on it already. I mean, one amongst many, sadly, is a little bit uncommon.
It's also hard to fit on a shirt. Let's put it that way as well. It's a very long name. But yeah, if you are curious as well, we are playing from the Lucca Comics and Games Conventions. We are in the ESL Cathedral, although I believe it is technically a church, technically speaking, but it's absolutely astonishing as just a centre for gaming. They're calling it the ESL Cathedral. It is the church of gaming here at the moment. It's incredible to bring this tournament to you from this venue. Hopefully they show more shots of the venue because it's staggering. There's beautiful carvings all over the place, beautiful paintings all over the place as well, and it's absolutely superb. It's breathtaking to behold. If you haven't seen it already, then I do recommend, especially following Max's Twitter at Totally Feudal, because he's been tweeting pictures out of the venue so far, and hopefully he'll be tweeting out a few more as he brought a big fancy pants camera. I just unfortunately have my terrible phone camera.
Well, the photos that I've tweeted out so far have come from my phone. My fancy pants camera cannot upload straight to Twitter, sadly, but I do hope to get some nice shots a little bit later on, but I won't be able to upload those until I can get my camera to a computer, which might not even be until we get back to the UK. We seem to be lining some of the players up on the stage this time. I think we might be getting a little bit of history about them. Sadly, this is all in Italian.
So
I've got no idea what any of this is.
Yeah, no clue. Our Italian is terrible. We know ciao, and arrivederci.
Ciao, arrivederci, and Bello is boy, Bella is girl.
Wow.
I think that's
more
about the extent of it. If you are Italian and you do want to find out what they're saying, you can head over to ESL_IT, where this is being broadcast in your native language.
Yep, and it looks like, they are actually interviewing some of the players, so we're getting some history from the players. We actually have heard that Fighter, for example, is a pro player himself, or at least a very high-level player, has played on some actual competitive teams himself as well, so definitely a strong player to look out for. Unfortunately, he got knocked out, I believe.
Yeah,
so
the team with 2 pros went
the Italians
out in the
reinforcements
quarterfinals
as well. Sneaky.
I know, these dirty tactics, but it didn't work. Britain are through to the semi-finals, and then we've got one Italian team left in the semis then, is that right? So the other semi-final is
I
going
think so.
to be Numlocked versus Vonethil, which
Yeah,
and Vonethil is Swedish. So that's it.
So it's just Hal. It's all on Hal. It's all on Hal's team to bring it home for the Italians here.
The hopes and dreams of the home country are all pinned on him. You got a good shot of the church there. For those of you that are worried, don't worry at all. This is no longer consecrated ground. We have been assured.
We've been assured that this church is primarily hosted for events, and it's again, I just can't believe it. It is beautiful, like where we're casting from as well. It's got some astonishing art around it. It's got a beautiful ceiling on it. It's what exactly you want out of a church and out of a nice historical location. And also, like, the town we're in as well, Lucca, is absolutely beautiful as well. And the Italian countryside has been wonderful.
It is. This is a place that I'd quite happily come for my holidays, and I've come here for a job, which is awesome.
Yeah.
Can't complain at all. If you are just joining us and you're wondering what the hell is going on, this is Lucca Comics Convention, and we're here with a ESL community tournament. We have 8 pros, and the 8 pros have been assigned players from the convention that have come here. They could sign up, and they've just been assigned, as far as I know, at random to the pros, and then they're playing a tournament together. It's a single elimination, best of 3 so far, and we imagine the final might go up, but we're not sure about the semi-final yet.
100% sure on what the semi-final and the final is going to be, but I imagine the semi-final is going to be best of 3. Final might be a best of 5, so definitely in it for the long haul. We've had some close games so far, especially the first match we saw earlier today with Hal in it was actually a fairly close match. Numlocked looked a little bit more decisive against Carnifex there, so good to see that coming out of Numlocked. We're going to see him a little bit later. We will see both semi-finals here on the stream when we do get started. Until then, well, we're just going to have to continue with Overtalk, keep chatting about it. Like you said, it's going to be interesting to see what Cypher picks. I imagine, like, judging by what I also just, briefly saw him during that downtime talk to talk to Cypher for a moment, and Cypher was saying that he's ready to win. He's ready to take over, so I think he will be playing that Genji.
No, definitely. It's what he's known for, and it's what he's best at, and it's definitely what he's doing. And there's nobody here that can match him man for man on Genji. So it's probably the best thing for him to do.
I think
to
unless
sure
you
winning.
snuck Shadowburn into the building, and as far as I'm aware, Shadowburn is getting ready to play in the World Cup. I think Cypher is uncontested as King of Genji in this.
Although
nice
Zarya does very well against Genji, and Hal has been playing the Zarya, so it could be that he's going to stick with that Zarya, which will do very well against the Genji. And honestly, a lot of these games, although they are team games, and you do need to play with your team, a lot of it comes down to whether or not the team that has the pro still alive tends to be able to push the most ground.
Well, that's the hidden advantage we talked about earlier for these Italian players. Of course, these people, I mean, they are gamers, so they, a lot of gamers around Europe are very fluent, well, very, very good at speaking English as well as their home language, but the Italians do have that home language advantage.
Yeah,
well, sort of the non-Italians, they have to struggle a little bit maybe to get that coordination going, but we did see Numlock's team playing very, very well for a team that perhaps can't coordinate.
Numlock did have an advantage. Like, they might have had a double Italian pro team, but Numlock's team had Bob, and Bob was just fantastic.
Bob was amazing. I want to see more of Bob. I want to see Bob coming out with the big plays. I want to see Bob doing really well in this tournament. Bob, Numlock's team has become Bob's team, and Bob played beautifully. So
he did very well, but we're going to have to wait
stars.
one game before we see him. This next semi-final, unfortunately, does not quite feature Bob just yet. But we will be jumping into this game pretty soon. By the looks of things, there is some stuff going on stage. Unfortunately, none of us speak Italian, so we don't actually know what's going on.
Yeah, so unfortunately, until we get told that, hey, the game is starting, then, well, that's when the game starts. But it looks like we will be getting ready to go for it fairly soon. The Italian cast is doing their introductions at the moment. I imagine it won't take too much longer. After that, we will be getting to these games. We'll be seeing who advances to that important final slot, who is playing for glory, who's playing for bragging rights as well. And also the players who aren't the pros do get that little bit of extra, do get a little bit of winnings from it. So there's a lot at stake for those guys. And I imagine also that's going to factor into some of those nerves, like we talked about earlier. You're playing for money. Like, that does change how you think.
Oh, definitely. Like, these guys, they don't play professional games. They're here at a convention. They're here to have some fun. They've signed up for some fun, but they have been plonked on a stage in front of people, and they know they're being broadcast live to thousands, and that's gonna have an effect on you.
Yeah.
And, especially if you're not used to it. I mean, even the pros, from what I hear, even the pros can get nervous from time to time. You see interviews with all the big pros, even for some of the bigger games. They still say they get nervous before they go out on the stage.
Especially if something starts going wrong, that does factor into it. Because I remember, like, I was part of the British team for the World Cup, and I remember when we were playing against Finland. Finland are kind of the favourites in that anyway, so we didn't have much of a chance. But things started going wrong for me, and it's like, oh my God, people are watching this. And it starts to just creep into the back of your head that people are watching this, and you start to panic, you start to make mistakes that you don't normally make. So it can factor in for these guys. Hopefully, though, they are just having fun with it. Like, that's what I encouraged any of these players to do, is just have fun with it, take part, enjoy yourselves, have an experience with it, and just have a good laugh, basically.
Well, definitely. And I bet they're looking forward to it as well. I doubt the nerves are so crippling for them
Hopefully.
that they're not going to enjoy themselves. But if we switch ourselves back to the stage camera right here, we can get some shots of the guys getting ready. And as you can see,
Cypher in the middle. He's looking focused.
They're all looking pretty focused. Does Cypher like to play with a backwards cap on? Does that help his concentration?
Yeah, I imagine that keeps him grounded and keeps him focused. That said, like, it's actually interesting to point out because I know there's players with like certain rituals and certain things that they try and do, certain things they keep in environments. So there was a StarCraft 2 player or StarCraft 1 player as well, like Brewball player, who very famously refused to play without shoes on. Like he wouldn't play unless he could take off his shoes. So
right.
he played without shoes.
We seem to have some kind of table lineup at the moment.
So yeah, these are what we've seen so far. We did get to see, I believe it was Blue versus Bianca, which is Blue versus White. That was a 2-1, a close game between Hal and it was Midna, who was the other Italian pro. We also got to see on stream the Gialla and Grigio, which is green and grey teams. Grigio being the grey team, Numlock's team, going through there. But Viola actually went 2-up against Verd. Verd, I should know what colour that actually is.
Green.
Right there.
Isn't Verde green?
No, we already had green.
I could have sworn Verde is green. Someone in chat, let us know.
Let us know. If you know Italian, then there you go. But we will be having Viola, which is purple, nice and easy because it's violet, and versus Bianca here, which is, as far as I know, white, but for some reason on here it shows as black. And there we go. There's our lovely Italian casters as well. They are casting on ESL_IT. If you want to go and check those guys out, give them some love as well. And of course, if you are Italian, I do encourage you to go check out those guys rather than checking out us because they are so spirited and so eager, and Italian's just a beautiful language to listen to. Like, if you haven't heard it before, like, and you just want to take 2 minutes and go and watch their stream for a second, I recommend doing it just to hear what Italian casting sounds like.
I promise, as long as you keep it to under 30 seconds, I won't even be offended.
Yeah, I won't
fine.
either.
It's
And here
fine.
we see the lovely venue. Like, this is absolutely incredible. We couldn't believe it when we walked in here. We heard, when we were sort of showing up that it's going to be the ESL Cathedral. I was expecting a tent.
Yeah.
I was expecting a tent. And then we walk in here, and it's absolutely breathtaking. It's an astonishing venue. It's very, very happy to be here and bring this tournament to you guys very soon. Now, actually, we have the map picks on screen, so we're going to linger on these guys. We have Hollywood, Nepal, and Volsky Industries. As far as I'm aware, we just play through these each, so it's not like a loser pick situation. We will just be playing through these. Hollywood, first time we're seeing it today. One of the standard maps these days. Teams definitely do like playing it. It's a hybrid map. Very difficult to say that first point, though, at times, especially for newer teams. The pro teams have become very proficient at it, but it's going to be so difficult. And actually, someone in chat, I think, said Verd is green, so there you go.
Yay! My Italian vocabulary has got a little bit bigger still. I'm very excited to see the fact that Nepal is the second map on the previous games. If you guys weren't watching, Lijiang Tower was the third map, and I was very much looking forward to seeing that because that would have been our first game of Control that we would have seen today, but sadly we didn't get to it. It was a 2-0 victory for Numlock's team. But this time we're definitely going to see a Control map. We're definitely going to be going to Game 2. Nothing's going to stop that from happening short of a power cut or some other kind of act of God, which I can say this is not consecrated ground. We're all good. We're all good. There's no problems. So yeah, I'm very much looking forward to that. I
really want to see Cypher
maps
on the Control map. Like, I think Cypher as a player is going to be very happy that they managed to get Nepal in that second slot. If they do drop behind, then Cypher's definitely got a lot of room to play with to take over once again. With Genji so proficient on that, I've watched, like, I went and did VOD reviews of watching Anox versus various teams just playing on Control maps, and they were so dominant until a team sort of figured out that you've got to kill Cypher if you want to take them on the Control maps. Like, you've got to deal with him. And with a non-pro team, dealing with Cypher is going to be incredibly difficult, and especially if the team does back him up properly, then he's going to be so hard to deal with. So definitely excited to see that. Hopefully we should be getting the game to you guys as soon as possible.
What do you expect to see? Them to build a team around the Genji, so you got a Lucio to speed boost him in and out and give him a sound barrier when he wants to use his Dragon Blade. Maybe an Ana to go with that for a nano boosted.
They might even like skip the Lucio. Like, you might skip the Lucio and just put a Zenyatta orb on him and just keep him alive that little bit longer. Like,
okay, that could be good. So we could go with
like, I imagine, especially with King of the Hill, like, if I was Cypher, I'd just try and push a dive comp, which is just having, like, the Winston Zarya. You try and probably go for Zenyatta Ana in this instance, and then you go for, like, Genji Tracer. And then try and build off the back of that and just try and set kills up for Cypher to come in and clean up, get that reset, and just get him snowballing very quickly and take over the map that way.
The Winston in there as well, because the Winston can dive in with the Genji and drop the bubbles, and it's just so difficult to deal with when it's executed well. What about on Hollywood, the map we're about to be going on to? Genji's still a good pick on Hollywood, like very strong pick on the first objective.
And moving, so to me, like, the big thing about Hollywood is that transition from the first point to the second point, because you're going from, like, this very standard sort of control point attack to this very vertical area. So having heroes that can very easily transition from that first assault, moving to the second one in a nice, easy, smooth manner, that's actually like difficult to do when you don't have a team lineup that's set up to do that. Then moving to that second point, that streets phase, can be very difficult, especially if the enemy team sets up, takes over the high ground. It's very difficult to push in there. But when you have a Genji main on your team, then it'd be easier just to set up and get that easy flow where you can just take the point and Cypher can just run ahead and try and take over that high ground. That said, he's got to do it against Hal. Hal playing the Zarya, good counter to the Genji. Like, if he gets overextended, he could die.
But once you get into that streets phase, you start having that high ground, low ground, and it's very easy for the Genji to just avoid the Zarya.
Yeah.
But don't get anywhere near the Zarya. Zarya is going to be a problem. I don't care. I won't go near the Zarya. I'll scurry up a wall, get away from her. Anytime she gets in range, I'm just going to move away. And you might be able to get some work done. Although on Objective A, if they can't take Objective A and get to the streets phase, then they're going to have a real problem because there's plenty of space for Zarya to help her team against the Genji on Objective A. It's a lot more difficult for her during the streets phase.
Yeah, and I mean, we haven't seen Cypher's team so far, so it's going to be interesting to see. But as we do load into Hollywood, we do have these nice intro videos for you guys. That I imagine the Hollywood one is a little bit more up-to-date. Hollywood introduced later in the development cycle, so should be nice and up-to-date on this video. Going to be interesting to see. And this, of course, is just in case, anyone in the audience here could have just walked in from the convention, so they might not be familiar with Overwatch. I imagine you guys on stream know all this stuff already. But, of course, Hollywood being a hybrid map will involve just capturing the point at first and then trying to push through. Hollywood, of course, is different. At least, actually, a lot of maps these days are starting to emulate Hollywood, or some of the newer maps that they've sort of prototyped around with, played around with, I've seen, do start to emulate Hollywood a little bit, where you have this very different first point to the second point and third point, where you do have that transition phase of let's move our first point team and try and get to a good second point team. You see teams change a lot in their lineups and how they address this. Will these teams do it? They're made up of randoms plus a pro. Maybe, actually, because we've seen surprisingly good team play come out of these guys so far, and we've seen them being willing to change up.
Well, definitely. I mean, Hollywood is one of my favourite maps as well, although I do favour control, and once again point out that is because I am a filthy Tracer main. I do apologise for that fact. And Hollywood has always been one of my most favourite maps. I was fortunate enough to play from the closed beta all the way through, and when they introduced Hollywood, I absolutely loved it straight away. But as you said, it's a very difficult map to take the first objective on. Streets phase is a little bit easier, but then that last point can also be really hard to take as well.
Yeah, and there's definitely, we've seen teams change how they defend on the second point as well, so I'm going to be interested to see how they set up for that one. But this first point, we could see from the offense also, you could go for a very sort of a heavy engage team. We've seen teams be very, very eager to just run in with the Winston and try and blitz through as quickly as possible. I'd be very surprised if we don't see Cypher try and do that. And I imagine Hal might go for the slower, more slow push with the Zarya on his team. Hal wants to probably take control of his team a little bit more, build up that Graviton surge nice and quickly, and then get a good one-word combo to get off the back of that. We should be loading into the map any moment now after this wonderful tutorial that I'm sure you guys are all enjoying. I'm sure you're all learning plenty from.
Some people have never seen that cart get pushed all the way to the end, so that was a new experience for them.
True enough. And here we go, loading into the game. Of course, the sounds will be in Italian as well. We're just moving from the Italian feed, so unfortunately, actually, it's fortunately.
It's not unfortunate. This is fortunately. We listen to the English sounds, the English voiceovers, or should I say the American voiceovers all the time. So it's great to listen to the other ones, and there are some fantastic ones out there, and the Italians are just as exciting.
Hearing Tracer in Italian was certainly an experience. Now, I imagine the defensive team might change up a bit, because I somehow doubt that they're going to be running the offensive Symmetra. I'm a little bit skeptical on that one. So let's focus on the defensive team, the Squadra, Viola. The purple team, we have Smilezoo, who we haven't seen these guys before, so I'm actually really curious to see how they play as well. So Smilezoo on the Reinhardt, we have Reaper on, we have Cypher on the Reaper, not Reaper on the Cypher, and we have Givlia on the Diva, Castro 92 on the McCree, and then on the Anna and Diz on the Lucio.
All right, and on the attacking side, on Team Hal, we have Manzo on Lucio, Says on Genji, Dalazar on Reinhardt, Hobbit on Anna, and Freaky Ricky on Roadhog, and then Hal is sticking to his Zarya.
So running the NIP comp, running a tank-focused comp here, 3 tanks, 2 supports, and a Genji thrown in for good measure for a little bit of extra pressure. Cypher actually being in a very aggressive position right now. And Smiles just going for that charge very early. Doesn't find the fire strike either. Will just back up nice and safely though through this high ground. We'll be able to get back to the point. But during this time, it's given space for Hal to just push in and do a lot of damage. That said, we did get a good early pick off there. Dalazar going down for the attacking team. Not having that Reinhardt's going to be a little bit difficult. Dio, though, D-Mech. So a lot of damage able to come in here. And this is actually looking so solid right now for Hal's team. They're just starting to advance forward, steadily getting progress. And their reinforced distance is a lot shorter as well. Freaky Ricky lands the hook, gets rid of Castro nice and easily. And Hal already has that Graviton surge. Cypher gets caught in it on that Tracer as well. Tracer pick just to get back to the point. He does get 1 kill, but he's just stuck on his own at the moment. Enon trying to support from the top, but no, gets knocked off by Hal and picked out of the sky. Poor Cypher just left on his own. The bomb will go on Dalazar, but Dalazar just instantly healed back up there by that Anna. Well played by them, taking it in a single push.
Amazing how they're showing exactly why he's the pro player, taking out that Anna on the high ground with a grenade into a left click. Absolutely amazing. Sadly, for Cypher's team, Cypher got taken out very early on in that encounter. He did switch to the Tracer to try and get back into the fight, but sadly his team was taken out before he could get back and have any kind of an impact. And we're already fighting for the Streets phase.
Yeah, so this is the consolation, is that fight did sort of start to drag on a little bit and did start to go a little bit longer, so both teams actually still relatively even on ultimates. And actually, like Givlia is still actually good to go with a Diva Bomb, and we do see Cypher does have the Nano Boost. Cypher going to be looking to deal some damage there. Doesn't actually have the Nano Boost ready though, doesn't have his Death Blossom certainly ready. Givlia though gets a triple kill with a Diva Bomb in the background, so Givlia finding the kills he needs, and Cypher was just cleaning up in the backline. That bomb just came out of nowhere and seemed to just clean absolutely everyone up. Well played by Givlia there.
I think it was even a quadra kill as well. I think he got
Lord.
4 with that, but he is once again one of these incredibly overly aggressive players, which every now and again will do something absolutely incredible, but a lot of the time they're too far forward and tend to get punished for it.
And Smilesy there, just caught a little bit out of position there, does get put to sleep, but instantly woken up there by the rest of his team. Not quite coordinated enough just to get the maximum value of that. Freaky Ricky does actually manage to get a good hook there, kills off Cypher nice and early. There's the stuns going onto that nano boosted Reinhardt. That's a good coordination, just stalling that out. And there goes Castro, gets an easy double kill there with it there. High noon, we knew what time it was. He just announced it and kills 2 people as a result. That's it. Fight still going on. Freaky Ricky doing good damage with his Roadhog. Hal now coming in for the cleanup, gets a triple kill for himself, and this should allow the Bellow to keep advancing forward. That's it. It's not all over yet for Cypher's team. They will be able to reinforce and will be able to defend this one more time.
Yeah, they will be able to get back before they can push it to that checkpoint. Hal's team once again showing that if you let Hal stay alive, no matter who you kill, they're still going to be able to push through. It did start very defense favored there, but Hal's team managed to turn it around.
And Cypher actually getting an early pick on Freaky Ricky there. That's actually been a big source of damage for this team as they've advanced forward. Cypher's still in the backline dealing a lot of damage. You do see Hal trying to sort of clean up there. Did get stunned, but wasn't quite picked up there. But this is looking good right now. Cypher going with the Death Blossom, not finding the damage he wanted out of that though. Certainly not. Doesn't actually get anything for that. Smiles who cleans up the Genji in the back, does get put to sleep for his trouble, but will just have a nice nap there. And actually Cypher going over aggressive. Hal just says no, just cuts in out the sky with that Zarya particle cannon, and will just kill him off nice and cleanly. Hal now actually taking the initiative and trying to take control of the high ground.
Trying to take control of the high ground as the attacking team, whilst the defending team aren't on the high ground. I suppose it can have an advantage. Oh, I see, he's planning something sneaky. Look at him, he's crouching about the place, trying to get a naughty little flank.
He's got to be careful though, like if you don't get those barriers out, you will start to deplete charge. He actually managed to find Cypher, will just start to do some poke damage there. Freaky Ricky throws out the hook, doesn't find it. There goes the stun, and oh no, the Urshadow just comes out a little bit too early, but there is the Graviton Surge. That said, Cypher has the nano boost. Can he find the damage? Gets one target, almost build up to that crucial ultimate, to that spin to win, kill fast that he can normally get. Doesn't actually manage to do it in time, but does still kill 2 targets, is in the backline now. Manzo goes down, Cypher cleaning up for himself. Well played out of that, and also, importantly, they did use the Graviton Surge during that fight, so Hal actually managed to Graviton Surge early, did a lot of damage, but there was just no follow-up. He still actually has managed to build up, though, a huge amount of ult percentage in the meantime.
Yeah, he did a lot of damage after dropping that Graviton Surge, because I think he went pretty much ignored. I mean, his big sneaky play didn't really get he couldn't really pull anything off from his big sneaky play, but he didn't get killed, and he's still in here, and he's still charging his ult.
And here comes a nano boosted Reinhardt, but there goes the Diva Bomb as well. Everyone's backing up to it. Hal's actually backed up towards it. Diva does actually manage to pick off Lucio there, so that's a huge disadvantage, just losing that extra healing a little bit early. Hal ready to go with the Graviton Surge. Has to be careful that Diva won't stop it, but no, Diva's been DMA'd. Freaky Ricky coming in, making sure that there won't be any defense matrix coming up, and it looks like the High Noon also not being able to do anything there. Castro just getting walled off there by the Reinhardt. Cypher still doing a lot of damage, so he's forced to run away, and this is looking so good for Hal's team right now.
Oh, definitely. I think they're clearly going to push through here. The attacking team are reinforcing, although the defending team do seem to be holding.
Yeah, so Smiles, who actually comes out of spawn, does land a good Urshadow, catches a few people, and that gives his team enough time to reinforce. Now Cypher dangerously near another Death Blossom, so he's building these up incredibly fast. Will's just chase down the rest of the team, and will actually use it. Does pick up Hobbit, does get stunned for his trouble, and Freaky Riku does take him down, but it's just too little, too late at the moment. Defensive team definitely bought themselves a lot more time, bought themselves an opportunity to hold on that little bit longer. Cypher needs to pull something out of the bag.
Oh, definitely. With only a minute left on the clock, they've only got 2 attacks left in them. Maybe 3. We'll have to see how it goes.
It's going to be interesting to see how they approach this as well. Just looking at the ultimates, Hal is still a good distance away from getting his Graviton Surge, so Cez has to basically go in and use this Dragon Blade on his own if they are going to use it. That said, the team is nice and clumped up for him, so this should be a good opportunity. There goes the Sound Barrier, so here comes the counter engage. Cypher dealing a lot of damage. Dragon Blade actually drawn into that as well. That said, the Reinhardt so low, Cypher's going to be dealing so much damage with that Nano Boost. Cez didn't get anything that he wanted out of that Dragon Blade. A little bit of a questionable choice there. I'm going to just, say that maybe to hold on to that Dragon Blade a little bit longer, wait for that Sound Barrier to fully wear off, and then hopefully get some kills at the back of it. But Cypher definitely just, earning his due there, showing why he is the carry of this team, getting that nano boost and just getting all the kills he wanted.
Definitely, but sometimes when you're playing Genji and you've got a sword and you see 6 people in front of you, you see glory and you go for glory. And unfortunately for Cez, it didn't quite work out as it possibly was in his mind's eye there.
And Givlia ready to go with another bomb here. That said, Zarya goes right in, does catch absolutely everyone in that, does get stunned and does drop dangerously low. There goes Cypher as well, just getting even more kills off the back of that. There's the D.Va bomb, kills Cez off as well. And this could be enough to hold on, although I do think it's just a Reinhardt, but Reinhardt will just buy time, does have the Earth Shatter as well, so will stun everyone up. This might have been just what they needed to hold on. I don't think anyone can make it back in time, so they have held it here at the second point. That's super nice for them. That's absolutely going to be crucial going forward, and it looks like Hal has a massive advantage here on Hollywood.
Absolutely beautiful slow motion finish there from the Reinhardt. Highlight of the game for me, I have to say. Swinging that hammer right in the victory screen. What a legend. All right, well, this is going to switch the teams over now, and we're going to go see what Cypher's team can do on the attack. They only have to push it not even to the second checkpoint, just a little bit further than Hal's team did, and they will be able to win the first game here, or the first map, I should say. Let's see what teams they decided to roll with. Let's see what picks they decide to roll with here at the start of the game. I think we'll start with the defending team because they're likely to be locked in here. We got Castro on, sorry, the defending team, I should say. We've got Freaky Ricky on the Mei. We've got Hal sticking with the Zarya. Dalasar on the Reinhardt. Cez has not locked in yet, but perhaps he's going to be playing Genji. He has played a lot of Genji. Oh no, this time he's going to go for the McCree. Manzo's been playing Lucio all day and he's going to carry on playing it, and Hobbit is sticking with the Ana.
And meanwhile, on the offense, we have Castro 92 going on that McCree. Diz on the Lucio. Cypher has opted to take Genji. No surprise there from him. And we actually have Smiles who's swapping to the Widowmaker earlier. Imagine that's going to change back. I think he's just scanning out and looking for a quick pick here. Oh, wait, they're still in picking phase. Like, I'm jumping the gun here. I thought the gates were about to open, but no, Smiles is just picking Widowmaker. Imagine he's just scanning out, just seeing what he can find, and that's probably going to go back to the Reinhardt that he's been playing so far. Enon on the Ana and Givlia staying on that D.Va. So D.Va definitely doing work last time. Like, got a good 4K off the back of one of those bombs, so hopefully you can see more of that action.
Well, and also the defending team, although they've got the Zarya, they don't have a Roadhog, so generally D.Va does not do well against Zarya or Roadhog. But more specifically, the Roadhog, that hook just goes straight through a defense matrix and pulls her into killer.
Yep.
Whereas you need to be pretty charged as Zarya to be able to take down a D.Va. So this might work out well for them. We'll have to
Although Freaky Ricky has been on point so far. He's decided to play Mei this time. Mei's very good at sort of blocking off this choke. If your team gets split up, it can be very difficult to start trying to push through. Although he is in an interesting position here. Like, that wall isn't going to quite cut everything off, I imagine, if he tries to deploy it from there. So going a little bit careful. Winston going straight in. This is going full dive comp at the moment. Winston right in the back line, dealing a lot of damage as well. The Ana grenade stopping any healing. And Cypher just dropped so low there so quickly that they just took him out. They just sniped him out the air. No problem for them. And that's actually a huge loss there. Cypher's going to be one of the main sources of damage. That said, they are starting to clean up some kills, and then does get the better of Hal. So both pros are out of this fight at the moment, as we do have Freaky Ricky dueling for his life against that McCree. Does manage to stay alive that little bit longer. It will keep the wall up for that little bit longer. The point is already 1/3 taken. McCree searching for those kills. Can this Mei start finding what she wants to get, though? No, Castro still staying alive. Castro gets the cleanup kill finally. Freaky Ricky going down. That was a point taken in very good time.
Yeah, so they did very, very well there. In fact, they did so well, they did it without their pro player. The pro player went down so early. Cypher, he dived into the team, but he just wasn't expecting to find the Mei there with an endothermic blaster right up his backside. And they just took him down really quick, and his team did really well to take that point regardless. Cypher
going aggressive. Uses the reflect, gets the kills onto Cez. I think it was actually Ana's heal dart that actually finished him off there, unfortunately shooting into that reflecting Genji. That said, Cypher punished for trying to push forward. This is what we expected out of Cypher, to play the Genji, to start ranging forward, start trying to buy space for his team, but he's been punished for it, which is, like, I'm genuinely impressed. Trying to shoot someone like Cypher is going to be a little bit difficult. Now they're actually in a really good position to get this payload moving pretty far, and they don't even have to get it to the second point. They just have to get it around the corner past the saloon. So it's actually a big, big edge for them. That said, they're fighting into about 4 ultimates, well, 5 ultimates, almost 6 ultimates, and that's going to be difficult.
Oh, definitely. In fact, on the attacking side, we've got full 6 ultimates. I think the D.Va, did the D.Va bomb just go off? No, she's just charged it. There we go. We got a nano boost.
Oh my god, that beautiful, beautiful Earth Shadow just held him down for Cez. Cez already during the high noon, and well, there's just a Genji on the floor, stunned. Easy kills for them. That's it. Castro comes in, gets a double kill, gets rid of Hal. The pros are out of this fight, and it looks like they are going to start pushing forward. You can see the golden shiny box in the full saturated Hollywood there, and they just have to get it to there. Winston now ranging forward, dealing a lot of damage here. Castro trying to hunt down some kills, and if they manage to get this, they will actually go 1-0 up very, very quickly. The payload's still rolling forward. No one is contesting it. No one's able to get to it, and they just get it straight there. They go 1-0 up. This is looking so good for Hal right now, and so good for Italy.
Wow, so strong. Oh, wait. That was Cypher's team that just won the attacking side.
Yep.
Okay.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, no, I got excited there. Jesus, goodness.
You confused
confused
me
you
so
as
much.
well.
I was like, wait a minute, hang on.
Ah, sorry.
How's doing well? How's just gone?
Oh, the player of the
0-1
game
down.
goes to Diva. Of course it goes to Diva. We didn't get to see this. I want to see this. I want to see the bomb. Hopefully she taunted. Just slides the bomb in there, and you got so you got the Reaper on one side, you got a bomb on the other side. That's going to be bad news no matter which way you go there. Just pick your poison. You either get a bomb or you get a Reaper, and of course the taunt at the end. Super well played there. There's the beautiful Italian casters. Here we go. So next map will be Nepal, and actually that's really good for Cypher. He must be feeling really happy right now.
Definitely, they got a really good chance here to take this 2-0 as playing Genji on control, as we've already talked about, is absolutely great for them. Although, we never know, Hal might be able to pull out the Tracer game of his life here and bring it back to 1-1.
Yeah, I'm also curious. I want to see like how much impact can Hal have on if he does decide to stay on the Zarya, because when you have that pro level Zarya, she can build her ultimates that much faster than the enemy team, for example. And Graviton Surge is absolutely huge on these control point maps, so that could be a very big deciding factor. If Hal can also keep control, if he can force Genji maybe to come into him with Cypher. Like, Cypher wasn't staying alive that long as well. Hal's team were doing a good job of shutting him down.
Yeah, they were doing very well. That Cypher's team, I might even go so far as to say that Cypher's team carried Cypher.
Oh.
Well,
let's just say that Cypher was being enough of a distraction that the rest of his team could do a lot of work. I think that's the diplomatic way of phrasing it. But
see,
yeah, definitely.
That's how I play Tracer. I just go in the back and die. But you see, while I go in the back and die, everybody's chasing after me and my team win the game.
You're a zoning Tracer.
So I feel I have a great impact despite the fact that my stats are absolutely abysmal.
But I've got to say, like, I think it's Castro92 is the name of the McCree player. He was doing a lot of work on the back of that. I know it ended in 92. That's all I can remember. And he was
Castro,
yeah,
Castro.
I'm pretty confident it's Castro92. I'm terrible at names, so I'm going to forget him all the time. But yeah, he was playing really well. He was doing a lot on that McCree, finding a lot of damage, and the rest of his team was sending him as well. Like, Reinhardt got some good clutch Earth Shatters off, for example, so that's always nice to see. That said, for Hal's team, you know, they do still have Freaky, who was playing really well on that Roadhog, for example. We've seen him earlier, also just playing really well. I think he was on McCree occasionally and also on May, so he's been playing well so far. So team's looking fairly evenly matched, although Cypher's team, maybe that just a little bit more coordination and that little bit of extra threat, because if Cypher is left alone, then he's going to start taking over the game.
Well, what do we think about the supports that we've got? So coming up, we've had Hobbit and the other support on Hal's team, whose name escapes me, he's been playing Lucio every game. So Hobbit's been playing pretty much Ana every game, and Lucio, they've had almost every game. Do you think these guys are going to change it up? I mean, you're probably going to keep the Lucio for a control game, but Ana's not something you necessarily always want on control.
Yeah, it's definitely one of those things that we've seen pro teams experiment a lot as well with the supports that they run. We do see Zenyatta come out quite a lot, and wouldn't be surprised to see some of it here, especially on Cypher's team with that Zen. Though it looks like if Cypher is going to go for the Reaper, definitely want the Ana with that. If you're running Reaper, you want Ana just for the threat of that nano-boosted Ana coming out. If you're running Genji, then you have a little bit more flexibility, but it looks like Freaky Ricky going on that Ana, for example. So actually changing up things here as we do get started here on Nepal. No long waiting periods here as the teams do leave the spawn and do start setting up for that first fight. And it's going to be interesting to see which team gets a big advantage here. And Cypher actually not on the Genji either, so running the Reaper, if Sez can go off in a big way, like, he can snowball out of control. Hal getting a lot of charge, but getting very, very low. Hal's got to be careful, does back off and stay alive that little bit longer. Meanwhile, Smilezu staying on the point, and this is looking good for Cypher's team at the moment as they do have full control of the point. Cypher gets the first kill on Sez. Sez going down, that threat is removed. Winston going down there, Castro92 doing good work there. Hal does get the better of Cypher, but I think Hal is just a little bit outnumbered here. Has to be careful, he's dropping dangerously low, but good job by Freaky Ricky there, keeping him alive on that Ana. Just still staying alive, like all that healing's coming through. No one's focusing the Ana, and as such, Hal's staying alive. Hal's on 100% charge. Hal already has Graviton Surge, gets one kill already. Can he get even more off the back of that? Does still lay in that damage, so Ghibli going down nice and early. Castro dropping dangerously low. This is actually looking pretty good for them. That said, Carnifex's team does have control of the point. That point is ticking up for them, but I think they might be able to just take it back immediately with that nano boosted Winston going to the back. Cypher goes down nice and early, and yes, they will be able to clean up and take this point.
Wow, just wow, that was absolutely insane. Pretty much all of Hal's team went down, apart from Hal and Ana. And like you say, Ana was just free to keep Hal alive while nobody went anywhere near her. And if you give a pro player like Hal any time at all, he's just going to absolutely destroy them. He got one of the fastest Graviton Surges I think I've ever seen in a control game, and then absolutely wrecked everybody. Very well played.
And it's like trying to DPS through that heal, but meanwhile we actually have a great Graviton Surge. It catches absolutely everyone, but there's just no... Actually, wow, Hobbit actually got a quadra kill off the back of that, so my god, everyone just went down. I'm actually curious to see where did that happen? Hobbit just cleaned up the entire attacking team there, so the Graviton Surge went off and Hobbit just killed everyone trying to come in and kill people in the Graviton Surge.
Absolutely brilliant. I don't know how that happened. I didn't even see the Tracer. I thought, like you, I thought that was a Graviton Surge and no follow-up. And then all of a sudden, 4 members of Cypher's team just exploded from a pulse bomb. Very well played by
I think
Hobbit.
it's that Graviton Surge your Smiles use. Like, that's why I'm so confused. Hobbit killed people trying to get to people in the Graviton Surge. Like, Hal still has his Graviton Surge. Hal is ready to go. Hal didn't need to use it. The enemy team just grouped up. That's it. Cypher's coming in here. Does have the Beyblade coming up. There gets 2 kills instantly. Can he find even more? People still trying to be held back by Hal's Graviton Surge there. Hal staying alive there. Does take a lot of damage, but does get the better of Cypher. Hal playing out of his mind right now. Does get rid of Cypher. Does manage to control the point for that a little bit longer. And it's looking so solid right now for Hal's team as they do see instant advantage here on the first map on Nepal.
Absolutely insane. 12 HP, 12 health. That's what Hal was left with at the end of that encounter when he was still killing people.
That's 11 more HP than he needs, clearly. Especially with this Anna on him. Like, when Anna comes back, she's going to turn over whale of time. Anna actually already still has Hobbits ready to go once again. If their enemy team clumps once more, Hobbit's going to be looking to punish them. Well played by Hobbit so far. Definitely doing work on this Tracer. You actually see Cypher changing to Tracer himself. So, just big changes come out here. No more Reaper, no more running that Reaper comp. Cypher going to be looking to put his stamp on this map.
Let's see what he can do. Cypher likes to think of himself as a pretty good Tracer player, and I'm not going to disagree. So let's see if he can get some work done.
Yeah, so we have we're on Hal's camera here. Hal still shelling out a lot of damage, not getting focused down. I think the team has sort of learned that you can't quite focus Hal down. That said, if you leave him free, then he's going to start killing people. That said, Cypher comes in, deals a lot of damage to the back there, and Givlia cleans up with the kill. That said, Samurai comes out for the defensive team, just keeps them alive that little bit longer than the point. The point is now in overtime, and it's so dangerous. This is such a dangerous situation to be in. Says draws a Dragon Blade, gets killed off very quickly by Smilesu there, and it looks like they will secure it for themselves, but they have to hold it for 80 whole percent. We have Hal ready with the Graviton Surge. Hobbit's going to be ready in no time at all with a Pulse Bomb, and if they flip it back, they win.
That's it, yep. Next time Cypher's team lose a team fight, they lose the game, and it's going to be all over. But we do have 4 ults ready to go, 5 with Smilesu coming in now on Cypher's team. So it's going to be very difficult for Hal's team to push into this 5 ultimate Cypher team.
Yeah, Cypher looking to get damage on Hal nice and early. Will just retreat towards that health back, but he has used all his blinks here as well. There goes the bomb, so bomb not finding much. Hobbit just gets a triple kill. Hobbit finding everything he needs. Cypher counters with a double kill. Unfortunately, 3 is greater than 2. Can Cypher just take over this map, though? Can he get rid of this Winston on the point? Winston still staying alive, has so many hit points, but still will build this pulse bomb up nice and quick for Tracer. Tracer versus Tracer duel. Can Hobbit outplay Cypher is the big question. That's a huge ask there. Winston might be in danger of going down. Super low. Down goes Winston. Down goes Tracer. Cypher has secured the point for his team and will hold it for that little bit longer.
Yeah, Cypher there showing why he gets paid the big bucks, doing very well to hold that point solo against a Monkey and a Tracer. He's charging his ult off of that very, very angry ape and then taking out the Tracer at the same time. Very, very well played.
And so Cypher's going to be ready for this next engage. He's going to be ready with a Pulse Bomb as well. So he's going to be looking pretty damn good. He's going to be feeling happy about himself if he can find the right target for him. And if Hal can't save that target, of course, that's always the danger when you're playing Tracer against a Zarya of Hal's level. It looks like Cypher has actually managed to pick off the Lucio in the back. That's a huge opening. Lucio so important. Anna dropping dangerously low, isolated, caught out on her own. Will get cleaned up there by Cypher. Cypher definitely taking over right now with the golden Tracer pistols. There's also a nano boost going off on the point as well. I think Smilesu got that on with the Zarya. So again, they just managed to hold it, and they managed to hold it from about 20% to 99%. Now we're just stuck in overtime, and if they, so whoever loses this fight loses right now.
I think that's just been lost.
Yeah.
What a turnaround. It almost looked like that was going all Hal's way from some absolutely fantastic Zarya play at the start of the round. But then Cypher decided to start playing Tracer, and I guess Cypher got angry. That's what it was.
Yeah, I guess Cypher decided, you know, this Reaper thing really isn't working, and hey, let's just play Tracer and let's just start killing everyone, which worked pretty damn well, I've got to say. Just turned the entire game around for them. Hal definitely, though, played out of his mind. That opening from Hal was absolutely incredible. Well played by Freaky Ricky as well. A little bit of focus trouble, perhaps, for Cypher's team, not noticing that, hey, Anna's healing a target with a heal boost on. That's really, really difficult to kill.
You probably need to deal with that Anna. Big standout surprise for me from that game was Hobbit. We've seen Hobbit play nothing but Anna so far this game. As soon as Hobbit gets onto Tracer, does some absolutely magical work, getting quadra kills, triple kills. Absolutely fantastic play.
I really hope that play of the game is the quadra kill that Hobbit got when the enemy team fired a Graviton Surge. Usually the combo is your team fires a Graviton Surge, then Tracer gets a number of kills.
I even got confused. I thought it was their Graviton Surge.
I really don't blame you. I would have been confused as well, because you just think, well, hey, that should be our multi-kill, but no, Tracer's went in and got absolutely everyone. And actually, that's a beautiful sleep dart early on as well, taking out D.Va. So D.Va asleep for this early fight, and that's a huge amount of tanking gone. But Cypher, playing on that Genji, does get a quick early kill, but will get cleaned up there by Manzo, using the Lucio right-click, I think, just to finish targets off as they do spam through this corridor once more, just juking back and forth. And Hal dealing so much damage with his AoE. He almost has a Graviton Surge already. Again, super early Graviton Surge coming out of him, just starting to chase down these supports and chase down this naked D.Va at the moment. Gets the Graviton Surge out, caught everyone on the point. This should be an easy follow-up for Hal. They should be able to clean up and take over this point in really good time.
Yeah, absolutely fantastic play once again from Hal there. When you've got the enemy team all grouped up in that very narrow corridor, it's so easy to just spam those right clicks in there and charge that ultimate in absolutely no time at all. You don't even need much charge. You're just going to start hitting 2, 3 people with every single right click, and you'll just watch that ultimate meter tick up so quickly.
Yeah, and especially, like, again, looking at this team lineup, like, what's going to stop Zare just spamming away? The only thing that can really prevent it is D.Va, and D.Va is sort of stuck on a time limit. That said, Cypher draws a Dragon Blade, gets a Nano Boost as well. Hal goes down. Can he find more? Gets a second kill. Can he find 3? He's just swings the blade. One more flex. 4 kills for Cypher right now. He's managed to take the point for his team. Nano Boost plus Dragon Blade. Genji coming out with Fury and just killing absolutely everything there.
Absolutely fantastic play. There's not really too much more to say about that. We saw exactly what happened. That sword came out and it was followed up with a Nano Boost. Absolutely fantastic. Just cut and sliced his way through so many people.
Oh my god, Milesu getting the money Graviton Surge. Cypher is just dashing back and forth through. We saw him zip through there about 4 times and killed absolutely everyone. Beautiful play coming out there, wonderfully done. Good choice of spray as well. Victory with the Russian statue as well. I think her name is Katya, if you're interested in the lore. Some people are, some people aren't.
I see. Well, you just taught me something. I am generally interested in lore, but I had no idea that her name was Katya. It's very good to know, although I think you're going to be hard-pressed to beat the 4-man pulse bomb player of the game.
That said, Cypher might have got it. He got 4 kills there without Genji Dragon Blade earlier. That's it. I mean, they managed to hold this for so long. With Hal coming out, though, he has 1 or 2 things to say. Does get everyone in the Graviton Surge, but there's no follow-up right now. The Reaper goes in. Can Cez find the kills. Does manage to get rid of the Ana there, but Defense Matrix managed to scoop up a lot of that. Cez now forced back, picking up the health. Might have just bought himself enough space, however. D.Va forced to run away, and now it's just the poor Zarya, poor Smiles who's stuck on his own. Cypher coming out. Does take a lot of damage from these Hellfire shotguns right now. Reaper manages to chase him away, and Cypher forced back to the point. That said, the point still has not flipped. It's still ticking up, and that could secure them. Well, putting them up 2-0. I do believe we are using the ranked rule set, so they have to win all 3 maps if they want to go through. Yeah,
this very much should be a best of 5, and it was so important there that while that whole fight was going on, it wasn't on the point. Although now we do seem to be fighting on the point. They almost backdoor cap it under them, and it's enough to separate the team.
Yeah, Cez getting the Nano Boost there, the Nano Boost to Reaper scary, no matter pretty much whoever it goes on, and Cez has been playing well so far, so setting him up for a victory there. I don't think he had his ultimate during that fight. He might have actually looking at 33%, and after the Nano Boost, it's very easy to build up a lot more ultimate very quickly as well. So, well played by them. Securing the point once more and managing to hold on to it. That's it, they have to be so careful. Nano Boost is pretty much, well, Nano Boost is ready on Enon, and Cypher almost ready to go. Can he repeat the magic from earlier?
Wow, that was a super aggressive play there from the Cypher, just dashing into the other team and reflecting in their face.
Nano Boost went onto him, but he didn't actually manage to find the target. He was unfortunately stuck on low hit points, and even with Nano Boost, when you're that low, it's going to be difficult. Hal, though, gets a good Graviton Surge off behind him there. D.Va just blown out of the mech. Instant Q for firing off the Graviton Surge, but there's just not enough follow-up there. And the rest of the red team, Cypher, just cleans up, still holds on to the point, still ticking up 92%, 93%. They've got to get on it. Hal's team have to get on it and start sort of contesting it right now, because if they don't, they're going to struggle. And it's just Dalasal left there who's being a big punching bag for the rest of the team. Does actually manage to dodge Cypher there, and does actually manage to knock the Ana off, though Ana I think knocked herself off there. And Cypher trying to kill off this Winston, but he's so low that he has to be really careful. He can't afford to just go in and start cutting him up. He has to run away there and not get any value off of that Dragon Blade. So managed to keep it in overtime, managing to take it back, and they've held it and taken it once more. Just got to hold it on for about, well, 40% more.
Yeah, very big misstep there from Cypher, pulling that desperation Dragon Blade out when he was already on half health. He was 1v4. I'm sure he'll be kicking himself about that, because it was not the right thing to do.
Now, can they hold it for even longer? Givlia is actually ready to go with the D.Va Bomb. And they've got to be careful here, because if you do try and secure the point with that D.Va Bomb, like, everyone's going to run off it, and if they cap it, they win. Like, they're on 99%. We do see the Nano Boost actually going onto the Winston here. A lot of damage going through. There goes the bomb as well. Givlia actually getting rid of Manzo, so no more Lucio healing there. And this Winston is just going ape in the backline, dealing all the damage he wants. Does get slept eventually, but not before killing off 1 or 2 people. And this is looking really, really solid right now for House Team. That said, we do have the Nano Boost going on to Cypher. Can Cypher find the targets he needs? He's still actually forced to Duke and Jive. He has to try and get away with this Winston. Does actually manage to kill him. Does kill off Cez as well with a beautiful follow-up. Doesn't quite go down to Freaky Ricky either. Freaky Ricky on no hit points. Cypher just cleaning up 20 hit points. Still alive, trying to do this. Lucio's damage. Lucio doesn't actually land the boot. Zarya's shield just saved him, kept him alive that a little bit longer. Still on 99%. Lucio staying alive. Does get dashed. Does get killed down. It's just a Hobbit on the point now. The reinforcements coming in. Hal shelling out all the damage he can. Can they clean up? Whoever loses this fight, well, loses this round. It's going to be interesting to see who can get it. Hobbit, actually, wow, that's an excellent Graviton. So Cypher already has another Dragon Blade, but goes down before he can draw it even. Still, reinforcements pouring in at left, right, and center, and damage is still going on to the point.
This is absolutely insane. Both teams are at a point where they're trickling in one by one for this absolutely nail-biting finish of this round. This is absolutely insane.
Can they keep it, like, my question is, can they keep it ticking until Cypher gets here with the Dragon Blade? That's what they've got to be playing for. And no, it actually looks like Manzo not contested it for just long enough. They managed to hold it, and Cypher's team goes up 2-0 so far, so they're just going to win one more, and then they win this round, and if they win this round, they go through to the final.
That is very true. Sometimes when everyone runs around like headless chickens, it does become very compelling viewing. I must say I very enjoyed that, because really, anyone could have won that at that point.
Yeah, that could have gone either way. I think I think you guys listening probably heard me start to peter out, because after a while that gets very, very difficult to keep going. And I haven't seen, like, seeing contests like that, just, it's good to see, especially these days when it's not, 2 Winstons, 2 Tracers, and 2 Lucios charging onto the point, but a variety of different heroes. And actually, because they're running the D.Va, they have that option. D.Va's so good at stalling, so that's actually really paying off for them. Because these guys aren't pros, because 5 people on each team aren't pros, clearly a comfort pick there with the D.Va.
Oh, definitely. And I'd like to say Cypher's team are very much showing that even if our pro is dead, we can still get stuff done. Whereas Hal is very much the carry for the other team. Although I have to say, Hobbit has been doing some work. Why Hobbit's been playing Anna the entire time before now, I don't know. Not that you can't do work on Anna at all. Anna can do some amazing things, but his Tracer seems to be absolutely fantastic.
And again, I think we started another engage with Hal just shelling out so much damage. Already on 50%, just finding free range just to spam into there. D.Va's defensive matrix not lasting long enough. Castro goes down nice and early as well. This is going to give them a huge advantage here. Imagine they're going to start moving to the point very, very soon. And D.Va also brought out her mech. Hal already on 90% charge. Might even just go for the finishing blow here. The point is active. No one's actually capping it at the moment. They're too busy killing each other. And they need to go and take the point. I think Hal's going to go and do that now.
Everyone knows kills greater than objective. That's how it works. That's how you play Overwatch.
Solo queue.
Yep, Hobbit there showing exactly why we've been giving them such high praise. Playing very well and taking out the McCree and somebody else right at the start there.
An aggressive Graviton Surge doesn't quite find the targets he wanted. I think he wanted 2 or 3 more there, but does still get rid of the enemy's area. Tracer forced to juke away, forced to run away. Of course, that is going to be Cypher, so forced to run, doesn't have any more recall, doesn't have any more blink, so has to back out. And it's interesting to see that they're still trying to force it through this corridor, but meanwhile, Hal's team is just sitting outside and waiting for them to come out. They've got to have a really decisive way to push through, and I imagine, yeah, they might just change direction. Yeah, it looks like they're doing exactly that.
Yeah, switch it up, come in from a different angle and see what you can get done. Especially if you could do something crazy like sneak onto the point and steal it out from under them.
And they've got to get back there pretty quickly, and they've got to be careful as well. Smilezu is ready with the Graviton Surge, and Cypher is ready with the bomb. Cypher just waiting for it. Does he get the kills? Yes, he does. He gets rid of 2, Hal being one of them, and Manzo being the other, so no more Lucio. And that nano boost to Winston not really finding many results. This guy's going to go down real fast as well. He's surrounded by DPSs, and there's even a high noon. Winston, did you check what time it was? Because McCree's there to tell you.
Yeah, someone needs to buy Winston a watch so that can't happen to him again. Poor monkey, poor ape, poor scientist.
Exactly, and it's actually going to be difficult to take this back right now. They do have a nano left in the tank. They also have D.Va ready with a bomb, so that's just going to clear anyone off the point. If they do try and contest it, it's very hard to do that with the D.Va there ready and waiting. That said, they do have Stairs ready to go with the Reaper Death Blossom. But that said, Hal drops so low. Hal is actually in a lot of trouble right now. Cypher just going in for the kill, cleaning him up, and that's going to stall this push even more. That's going to buy them in more time. Stairs fires up the Death Blossom, does get rid of Castro, but won't get any other value off the back of that. And Cypher's shooting that Winston out of the air. Hobbit trying to sneakily cap the point, but just not quite enough. Does get half of it, but doesn't get all of it. Now they've actually got to be careful they don't start getting trickled in. If you do start delaying these spawns, it's going to be so hard to get that next engage in good time.
Oh, those sneaky hobbits, she tried. She tried, but couldn't quite pull it off. That was a very uncharacteristic misstep from Hal. He's been playing so well all day today, but then he was just a little bit out of position, a little bit too far ahead of his team, and got incredibly punished for it.
And now they've got to be careful. Like, going through this angle when the enemy Tracer has a Pulse Bomb is actually very, very difficult. The Pulse Bomb can come in and be so big. That's it. They just burst straight out here. They have the aggression with the Winston. Hal trying to build up his ultimate nice and quickly. He's got it up. Manages to avoid the defense matrix again. Can they get the follow-up combo, though? Can they get the damage? And 1 does go down. 2 goes down. Hobbit picking up 2 more kills. Hobbit still doing more, but Cypher's also cleaning up in the back there. This is Tracer versus Tracer action. These Tracers are being so vital right now, but meanwhile, the point is uncontested. It's still ticking up. The fight is not on the point. And as such, well, it's looking really good for Cypher right now, and Hobbit's dropping so low. Hobbit has to be careful. Hobbit has to get out of there, I think. And now they're just trickling in. Oh, Cypher, careful. 17 hit points. It's a little bit low, but does stay alive that little bit longer. Says now getting onto the point, and this could go absolutely either way right now. Who's going to get those killing blows? Who's going to get the finishing touch? Here is the big question. Cypher throws the bomb, doesn't get any value for it, though. Does start to trace down this Lucio. Sound barrier has come out at the moment. Says finally comes in from behind, gets the cleanup, and this is looking good right now for House team for just securing the remainder of this point.
Well, let's see if they can flip it over. That was almost glory for Hobbit. Imagine being able to walk away from this event saying that you took out one of the best players in the world in a 1v1, Tracer v Tracer. It could have been so great for them, but sadly it wasn't to be. 17 HP. was what they achieved.
Hal's team are in a really good position at the moment. They have Sez almost good to go. Freaky Ricky is good to go. If they don't get rid of this combo, it's so hard to push into, because once that Death Blossom comes out, it could be huge. No, Freaky Ricky goes down. Death Blossom comes out anyway, does deal enough damage to kill one, does kill two as well. It's just Smiles who left on the point at the moment. I think he's a little bit outnumbered. So Hal's team, even though Hal didn't go down. Of course Hal didn't go down. We're on Hal's camera at the moment. So even though it was looking a little bit dicey for a moment there, still survived wonderfully. Sez coming out with a clutch Death Blossom, starts dealing a lot of damage and just cleans up off the back of it.
Definitely, they might be pulling themselves right back into this game. I think Cypher's team has got one more attack left in them. Let's see if they can flip the point. Whoever wins this fight is going to win the round.
And on the bright side, they do have the D.Va bomb, so D.Va will get an instant respawn as well. Actually, D.Va just fires it off, does get contained there, and Ghibli just goes down. I think Winston actually put a bubble on top of that bomb, so no value off the back of it. Beautiful Graviton Surge, managing to catch absolutely everyone. Hal dealing so much damage, and Lucio, no! Lucio, why have you stolen the nano boost? Why is it always Lucio? It's because he jumps in front of the Ana. It's happened to me so many times, it's so frustrating, and Lucio does so little with it. Hal manages to bring himself back 1-2 in this King of the Hill.
Absolutely amazing. A very unfortunate misstep there for Enon by boosting the Lucio, but I imagine it's one of those things where you're playing Ana, you get pulled into the Graviton Surge during the game-breaking fight. You know if you lose this fight, your team's going down, or you're going to lose the point for the objective, and he just pressed Q.
Well,
what else do you do?
The amount of times I've been playing Ana and Lucio's literally jumped in front and sort of, get down Mr. Presidented the nano boost. Even though the nano boost is going on to Reinhardt or Reaper, no, Lucio jumped in front of it, steals it for himself, and then just goes at supersonic speed, sure, to the point, but then proceeds to not really do much.
Yeah, unfortunately, that was how it ended up going down, but Cypher is still 2-1 up, so we are still at match point here. Let's see what
Cypher definitely in a solid position. Looks like they're actually swapping off the Ana as well, going for the Zenyatta. Nope, they're going back to the Ana. So a little bit of debate going on there. I do like the Ana pick here, though. That said, who are they going to nano boost there? I guess it's going to have to be Cypher or Castro or maybe Smilezu. But none of the really standard nano boost targets available to them, so interesting pick there.
Yeah, very, very interesting. But Hobbit is staying on the Tracer, see if they can get some more work done. Sez goes down straight away. That's very unfortunate.
Hal actually dropping dangerously low as well. Gets caught by the flashbang, gets cut down by Cypher and Castro. So doing a good job there. The DPS combo dealing so much hurt. And Cypher already has a pulse bomb, gets rid of Hobbit as well. Cypher going off in a huge way, and this is looking really good for him. It's got to be in the back of Cypher's mind. The last time they played on this map, Hal just took completely over on that first point. Cypher is showing him, well, I can do exactly the same on Tracer.
Oh, definitely. He really turned it around. Well, he didn't really turn it around, just asserted his team's dominance over Hal's team there. Hal's team did not stand a chance, and he's whiffed his pulse bomb out already.
Oh, and a little bit of over-aggression there as well. Just gets caught out. I mean, one thing you can try and do with Zarya is you just throw the bomb, bait out her shield, and then try and kill her off the back of it. But when the rest of the team is just reinforcing, coming in like that and just killing everyone off, you've got to be a little bit more careful than that. Cypher overextending a little bit. That said, the rest of his team still doing enough work. Castro getting a kill himself. Smilezu to cleaning up as well on this Zarya. It's going to be really hard, and I think I just had an Italian high noon there. Castro doesn't actually find any targets, so does manage to force people off the point, and it's still ticking up in their favor. Nearly 40% now. It's looking really good. Oh no, Hanzo just goes right, well, Manzo goes right into that fan of the hammer and just goes down. No problem there. Looking so good for Cypher right now.
Oh, definitely. And some great play there from Castro. He's got the accuracy. He's got this McCree down. He's very good. Well, let's see if they can finish this game out.
Yeah, it's been really good to see like this come out from Cypher's team, but this Castro guy has just appeared. He's one of the community members, and he's doing such good work for his team. I mean, that said, like we've seen Freaky Ricky do well, and oh dear, Sez has gone down very early there as well. Graviton Surge comes out, there's a pulse bomb in there, Cypher picks up a triple kill, no problem for him there. That's one of the wombo combos that we're so used to seeing. I think what was happening was Hal was trying to set up exactly the same thing. He does still have it available to his credit, so they still have the Graviton and Tracer combo, but they've got to get there fast. There's only 25% left. They've got to make it happen right now.
Well, they are coming in with pretty major ult advantage here. They're going to have a Death Blossom available pretty soon as well, and I'm pretty sure that Winston's going to have his up by the time they get there as well. So they're going to come in with 6 ultimates to this next fight against what is going to be 3, and possibly a high noon as well.
And actually, we can see that Hobbit's actually really sort of stuck out on his own here. If he used up his blinks, he won't be able to get to that Graviton Surge in time, but he does actually manage to make it there, does get the triple kill. That's it. Givlia returns the favor with the D.Va bomb. So bombs got enough left, right, and center here. Givlia picks up the kills he needs and might have just been enough to save it for his team. Cypher now getting the nano boost, doing so much damage with his Tracer. Does have the pulse bomb available as well. Will recall, transfer that a little bit longer. Might try and hunt down Sez, but no, Dalasar lands on him with the Winston, crushes him down. Will keep this going in overtime and might be able to take the point back, but it's a huge ask to survive from here. 99% to 0% it's going to be real hard for House team.
It's real tough, but we've seen it done before, and we've still got 2 ultimates available on Hal's team. We've got the sound barrier, and we've got a God, can't even remember the name of Winston.
Primal Rage.
Primal Rage. Thank you. So glad you're here to help us out. Although we're going to be coming in with a pulse bomb, and the high noon's already gone off.
So what can Castro find? He finds 2 people. He gets rid of both supports, so no more healing available for Hal's team. It's danger time now. Ghibli finds Hal as well. Flashman not quite finding its target, but Castro still finds it easily with that Phantom Hammer, and this is looking so good for Cypher's team right now. They should be able to take this point in no time at all. I think the only person left is Hobbit on that Tracer. Not going to be too long for this well. Down they go. They will cap the point, and I think they will take this 2-0 unless they can get to the back to the point. I don't think anyone can make it in time. Lucio's trying to get there. Manzo, can you make it? Manzo actually makes it. Sound barriers to keep himself alive. Hal now coming in and says with the fire support, can they find what they need? No, Hal goes down super fast. Ghibli actually gets that nano boost as well. That's going to be so much damage coming out in close range for that Diva. Winston now keeping it alive that just a little bit long, but they're just trickling in one by one. They've got to be so careful. Hobbit gets a good pulse bomb off there, but it's just not going to be enough, and I think they've done it. I think Cypher has made it to the final.
Definitely. Taking Anna down there at the end really didn't mean too much. And of course, I think Cypher's team are going through.
I really want to see if this play of the game is that pulse bomb. I really want it. I think it's going to be the nano boosted Genji then. It's got to be.
That's a shame. I wanted to see how that pulse bomb ended up playing out.
That said, like I've always said, oh my god, he gets the reflect as well. That's just going to set him up so wonderfully. That's just free damage on everyone. No one's going to be healing up. No one's going to be surviving this. And I've always said, like, the measure of a Genji is how smooth is their ultimate. How flowing is that ultimate. And you can see there from Cypher, it's like cutting through silk.
He knows exactly where every member of the enemy team is, and he knows exactly where he needs to look in order to do his dashes and in order to cut his way through them. And when it looks as smooth as that, you know he's a good player.
So well played there by Cypher. It looked really close at first there. Hal looked so good in the start of that Nepal game. Hal literally just tanked up a storm, kept alive by the Anna, dealing so much damage. One of the fastest Graviton surges we've seen. I mean, Hal's been getting these Graviton surges super quick anyway, so it's been looking really good for him. But just Cypher's team. Cypher, and it's not just Cypher. Like, you know, we expected Cypher to really take over, but it was Cypher and Castro. And also, like, the supports were doing their jobs. The supports were staying alive a lot longer. They were providing nano boosts on cue. They were doing such a good job. So well played to all of Cypher's team. It's not just Cypher.
Oh, definitely.
The entire team.
The team was really there to back him up. There was a few times where he had a few questionable plays, but his team still managed to push through and gain the advantage from those fights. I think at one point on Shrine, Cypher literally dashed right in front of the full enemy team, put his deflect up, and then tried to jump away. But in doing so, his team followed up really well. Cypher didn't survive the encounter, but his team then managed to flip the point off of that rather ballsy play.
Yeah, and just like massive. I mean, that's it. You know, we've got to acknowledge the heroes on the other team. I think Hobbit, especially, he played a really good game that just demonstrated a lot of skill there on that Tracer. I mean, you yourself are a Tracer main, so it must warm your heart a little bit to see Tracer played well.
Oh, definitely. Especially when it's from an unknown. Somebody coming out there and just doing some magic on Tracer. It's always heartwarming to see.
Yeah, I get exactly the same, but with Widowmaker. I love seeing a top-tier Widowmaker play. I really do hope to see some pros pick up Widowmaker. Maybe tomorrow, if you are curious. By the way, this is brought to you from the Lucca Comics and Games Convention in Italy. This is an event just to bring some of the pros together with the community members taking part. So each team is made up of 5 community members plus 1 pro. And we are playing a tournament every single day, today, tomorrow, and the day after. So definitely come back tomorrow if you want some early morning, relaxing, fun Overwatch action. I'd certainly hope to see you guys here tomorrow.
Yeah, just come hang out with us. We'll be here all day, chilling and watching Overwatch. I mean, it doesn't really get much better than that, does it?
Exactly. And we have plenty more Overwatch action for you today. That was the first semi-final. We will be coming to you fairly soon with the second semi-final as well. If I remember rightly, that will be Numlock's team against... Oh god, I'm blanking on whose team it is.
Numlock's team against... Oh no, you see.
It was Vonethil.
It was Vonethil team. That's it.
Because we didn't get to see Vonethil's team play, so I really want to see what they can bring. I love seeing these players from the community just having those little moments of breakout action, and to me that's what Overwatch is all about. It's about those moments when the team works together, when things just go right, when the ultimate gets a big kill. That's what Overwatch is all about. That's where the excitement comes into it for me. So I certainly hope